Yes, I hope everybody can hear me. I'm here to apologize. I had no clue as to what was going on. Earlier, well, yesterday in the evening, I did a live. And before I did that live, well, in the live, I was carrying on about myself and I had my son on and I was carrying on like nothing happened. Prior to that live, I went on DeAndre Dobbs live, DeAndre Dobbs the show, and I went in again like everything was whatever. He was talking about a case, and I thought the case was old, but it's a current event, and it was about that young lady Massey in Springfield, Illinois, who was unalived by a cop. I didn't know that was a current event. I had no idea because I don't watch the news, the commercial uh, m- news, so I didn't know what was going on. I stumbled upon the event from another content creator, an attorney out of Minnesota, Bruce Rivers, criminal lawyer, and that's how I stumbled upon the actual case. He was showing footage from the camera that the police wear, the body cams, and for some reason, sometimes those body cams work and sometimes they don't. This one happened to work, and I got to see it from the vantage point of the body cam. Again, I apologize. I had no idea that that was a current event that happened recently. That's going to continue to happen. You've got issues with training. Obviously, the hiring practices need to improve, and you got to consider a particular policy, I guess it is, that's qualified immunity. There's so many distractions right now. There's so much propaganda going all over the place. But immunity is something that we need to consider every time we go into that voting booth. Qualified qualified immunity gives police, corrections, prosecutors, judges, it it shields them from not total prosecution for negligible acts, but it makes it a whole lot harder to hold those positions that I just mentioned accountable for being reckless. In this case, this police officer was way out of bounds. Probably not the career path that should have been made available to this individual. So he went in and he was just absolutely wrong. There's no other way to there's no other way to put it. His approach was he was escalating things by his approach. He wasn't de-escalating. There was no need to de-escalate because there was nothing to de-escalate. He and his partner or partners made the situation a lot worse. They made the situation worse. That has a lot to do with training. What exactly was the call? Miss Macy was the one that made the call, no? And when they showed up to address her, uh, I guess the call had something to do with a potential intruder. She's not the intruder, obviously, but the that call could have stayed right at the door. When they saw that she was safe, okay, you can you can think that maybe the intruder was there and was threatening her to keep her mouth shut. Okay, you want to go in, make sure everything is good, everything is safe, but you got a conversation going on, and after you realize that there was no intruder in the home, it was time to go. They wanted to check on the car. Okay, the car turns out to be hers. They cleared the apartment. They went into the bedroom and checked whatever other location, and it turns out that they knew that Miss Macy had uh, a mental health issue. On the call, there's a certain code that's used for approaching people with potential mental health issues. So they knew what they were going into. And okay, you might want to look around, see maybe if the person was self-medicating or something like that, and perhaps they can conclude that because of the self-medication, maybe they're hallucinating or something. Whatever. It's the thing is that it went so much further than what it had to. They could have just packed it up and left. Now with qualified immunity, you the 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 police officer could still get arrested and processed, but where qualified immunity really kicks in is during court proceedings. How far will it go? They the courts will give the police officer a certain degree of leniency because of the job, and there are cases where that leniency is not enough. The example would be the Floyd case in Minnesota. So it doesn't always work. it fails us as a community so much that we overlook the reality that yeah, sometimes the system does work and does hold somebody like a police officer accountable for his actions. But when it has worked, the abuse has been has been way too way too egregious. Like in this case, a person was unalived. She had a pot of hot water, and judging from the distance that he was, that pot of hot water wasn't going to do anything. He shouldn't even he should have been out of there by that point. And like Bruce Rivers, the criminal lawyer, pointed out, because of the exchange that he had with her, he can he can very easily be charged with, what is that, premeditated unaliving. Premeditated. That's ugly. It was a bad exchange. And then to top it all off, he insults her after after the fact, calls her a bee, crazy bee. When his supervisor shows up, he lies. That's not surprising. That's typical CYA. Cover your assets. So that's not unusual. But there's a body cam and it's functioning. Supervisor shows up. He gives them the same old excuse that's typically used in a case like this. I felt threatened. What does the supervisor ask? Where's the gun? Supervisor asks, where's the gun? It's the first thing he asks him after he asked what happened. He sees the woman on the floor. Uh, I think at that point she was lifeless. My apologies to Double D for coming on to his live while he was reporting that, giving his opinion, and I was clueless. I didn't demonstrate the the proper um, demeanor for the gravity of what he was reporting. So my apologies to Double D. My apologies to the Massey family. My apologies to my subscribers. Just wanted to come on here and let you guys know. Later on today, we'll have Whip It Out Wednesday. Go over some stuff that's pertinent to everything. Stay safe out there, guys. And when you go to that voting booth, think about qualified immunity, because there's a group of Democrats that are trying to change that. Some want to get rid of it altogether. Sorry to say that nobody in the Republican Party or the MAGA Party has any interest in doing that whatsoever. Take care, everybody.